Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
A wonderful evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's technical session. It is 5 p.m. sharp, but I believe we have a 10-minute window just to ensure that we have as many participants and attendees as possible. In order to ensure this, please continue to share the link such that we can have more people on the call before we proceed. Thank you once again. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. We have just about a minute to go before we commence. So please continue to share the link such that we have more attendees and more participants because it promises to be a beneficial event for all. Thank you once again. We start by 5:10. It is 5:10, and I trust that we are continuing to share the link to this technical session. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants, speakers, and representatives of the various student chapters here. My name is Melissa Ikuma, President, SPE Now University Chapter, and it is my pleasure to be your moderator for today's event. It is exactly 5:10, and I believe we can commence with the proceedings of this evening's event. The first item on the agenda. On to the next slide, please. Apologies, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
I can hear you.
Loud and clear. All right,
Okay,
fantastic. Thank you
I
very
can
much.
hear you, ma.
All right, then, fantastic. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. We can now move on to our first item on the agenda, which is the safety brief. Ms. Koei Stella, the floor is yours. Please proceed with the safety brief for today's event. All right, since Ms. Stella is yet to join us, I will proceed with the safety briefing for this event. As always, safety is paramount, and in a bid to ensure that we adhere to these safety guidelines, we have a list of tips to follow or to adhere to in this event. 1, please mute your mic when you're not speaking. 2, raise up your hands when you need to speak. 3, use the chat button for comments and questions. 4, ensure you can still hear the fire alarm with your headset if you are using a headset right now. 5, be alert and aware of your environment. 6, always stay safe. And 7, maintain a good sitting posture because posture is important. Please take note of all of these guidelines as we ensure that we remain safe throughout the duration of this meeting. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The next item on the agenda is the opening remarks by PTI President, Mr. Oyibo Godson.
Please kindly confirm you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
All right. First off, I want to appreciate everyone for coming in, for joining us, and for those that are yet to come. My name is Oyibo Godson, and I want to welcome everybody to this wonderful event for in the future. And I'm really excited to have everyone here today. One thing to notice that this event is very special because it's fully student-led, in which we brought about students from all diaspora to share knowledge. It has been planned, organized, and hosted by people just like me and you. So it's our chance to talk about the things that really matter to us as students. And a big shout out to every student who has made this to happen. We didn't just want this to be another lecture or seminar. We wanted it to feel fresh, relevant, and full of ideas to spark something within students. Right. So I want everybody to enjoy the session, ask questions, take notes, meet people, and most importantly, let's have fun. Let's keep sharing the link and let's keep getting people to join the meeting. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Godson, for your opening remarks. You've heard it from him, ladies and gentlemen. This is a student-led and student-organized program, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of this evening's event. The fourth item on the agenda is the icebreaker, led by Mr. Prosper Izzy. If you're ready for us, Prosper, the floor is yours.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
We can hear you, Prosper. Good evening.
Okay. This slide, the icebreaker slide is not showing on my side. Okay. So please, when I ask the questions and mention the options, you put in your answers in the chat box so as to maintain or than less. Thank you. So the first question without wasting our time is one: which emerging tech are you most excited to see in the energy sector? Which emerging tech are you most excited to see in the energy sector? A. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. B. Internet of Things, IoT sensors. C. Blockchain for supply chains. And D. Digital twins. And from the chat box, um, Ure Henry said A. Okay. Oyibo PTI said A. Okay. So the next question, please. All right. The second question goes on: what's your go-to way to stay informed about industry news? A. LinkedIn articles and posts. B. Industry podcasts, e.g., oil and gas this week. C. Webinars and virtual conferences. D. Newsletters from SPE. Let's see your answers in the chat box, please. Okay, I think the letter A is leading. Okay. Joshua Damilare said A. Okay. Oyibo PTI said LinkedIn articles and posts. That's A. Okay. Melissa Ekuma said A. Uri Henry said C. Esu chapter said B. Okay. Those are quite nice answers. But for me, I feel like virtually everything is important to stay informed. Virtually everything in the options. So I think we should proceed to the next one. Next question, please. Okay. Which green energy source do you think will partner best with oil and gas in the coming decades? A. Solar power. B. Wind energy. C. Hydrogen and fuel cells. D. Carbon capture and storage. This question is like, I really love this question. It just takes us to the part where we keep thinking, because things are looking like they want to replace the oil and gas. So I think I really love this question. Okay. Um, okay, Joshua Damilare said A and D. Okay. Oyibo PTI said solar power with an exclamation mark. Okay. Esus chapter said D and C. Ure Henry said A and D. Okay. Wow. And I'm really not surprised why most of you have two options, because I mean it's really obvious. So the next question, please. Let's not waste much time. Okay, as a student, what's your favorite way to collaborate with peers on projects? A. Slack or Microsoft Teams groups. B. Shared GitHub and Bitbucket repos. C. Virtual whiteboards, Miro, Jamboard. D. In-person hackathons or workshops. This question is a bit tricky, so let's see what your answers are. Okay. Okay, I'm really loving the energy. People PTI said in-person hackathons or workshops. Joshua Damilari said D. Esu chapter said D. Praise Edoche said D. Melissa Ekume said Teams with an exclamation mark. I must mention that exclamation mark anytime you guys put it. So Uri Henry said A and C. You are putting two options again. Okay. Bella PTI said D and Ona said A. Okay, nice answers, and nice energy from you all. Is there a next question? All right.
That will
Thank
be
you.
all.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prosper, for the icebreaker. You really got us thinking, even though I can see some people were picking two options, but that's fine. That's fine. Thank you once again. We absolutely love that. Next, it is time to meet our speakers and panelists, or rather, speaker, because we have one speaker and four fantastic panelists, all of which are students. So keep your ears open, ladies and gentlemen. Our speaker for today is Miss Success Ilechukwu. Success Electrical is a passionate chemical engineering student and emerging innovator in the energy and technology sector. With a strong engineering foundation and certifications in data analytics, virtual assistance, and digital skills, she actively explores creative solutions in petroleum engineering and beyond. Success is also a dedicated STEM content creator using platforms like YouTube and TikTok to share insights on tech tools, academic excellence, and the importance of female representation in engineering. Her work is driven by a deep commitment to sustainability, energy innovation, and youth empowerment, especially within Africa's oil and gas landscape. Please join me in welcoming Success Electrical of SPE Isut chapter, our speaker for today. Success, welcome. The floor is yours. Success, please confirm you're on the call. All right. Seeing as our speaker is not yet on the call, while we wait for her, I'd like to introduce our fantastic panelists, of which we have four. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we have four amazing trailblazers in the industry here to speak with us on innovation, digitalization, and sustainability in petroleum engineering. First of which is Mr. David Ofordum. David Ofordum is a passionate chemical engineering student at Nnamdi Azikiwe University and the founding president of Student Energy Unizik, where he advocates for youth participation in energy and sustainability. Formerly the president of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers, Unizik chapter. He led several impactful initiatives promoting energy literacy and professional development. With a strong academic background. Hello, do we have Success there?
Yes, yes.
All right, Success. Thank you very much for joining us. In that case, we will continue with the introduction of our panelists after Success's presentation, if that is fine with you all, ladies and gentlemen. So Success, if you're ready for us now, please proceed with your presentation. Thank you and welcome to this evening's event.
Thank you so much. It's actually an honor to be here today to speak to this audience at SPE student chapter of the Petroleum Training Institute of Nigeria. I'm very honored. Thank you, guys. The team fueling the future, innovation, digitalization, and sustainability in petroleum engineering is not only powerful, but also urgent. As a chemical engineering student, I see this as more than a conversation. I see it as a call to action, especially for us in the next generation of Nigerian engineers. So let's begin with the obvious truths. Nigeria is very rich in resources, but underperforming in outcomes. We are Africa's top oil producers, yet we import refined petroleum. We have brilliant minds, yet rely heavily on foreign solutions. Meanwhile, countries abroad are not waiting. Next slide. In the UAE, digital twins and autonomous rigs are already revolutionizing. Oil fields in Norway. Next slide. All oil fields in Norway. No, in Norway, for example, we have carbon capture and hydrogen blending. They are not just concepts, they are happening. We must ask ourselves, why not here in Nigeria? Why not us? Where do we stand? What can we do? Next slide. As students in Nigeria, we often face limitations from access to advanced tools to industry exposure. But limitation is not the same as defeat. We live in an era where technology is great equalizer. So what can we do? We ask ourselves. We should build simulations with open source tools, use AI for data analysis in production optimization, learn automation and coding to optimize refinery processes, develop low-cost local solutions to address our specific challenges like gas flaring, leakages, poor pipeline management, and energy access. So let me be real. The oil and gas sector is not dying, it's evolving. The question here is, are we evolving with it? So the power of tech plus engineering plus people skills. It's time we stop seeing engineering as just equations and lab codes. Engineering today is tech-driven. We should learn Python, MATLAB, Aspen Plus, and HISIS. Even if the school doesn't teach us, we should learn these skills by going to Coursera, Udemy to get these online courses. Management-minded, understanding project timelines, cost control, and stakeholder impact gives us a real-world edge. We should be social aware. Innovation isn't just technical, it's about people. Sustainable energy should empower our rural communities and reduce health hazards and also improve lives. When you combine technical expertise, digital literacy, and project thinking and empathy, you become unstoppable. Next slide. Fueling Nigerians' future together. As chemical and petroleum engineering students, let's not just aim to get jobs. Let's aim to create solutions, build systems, lead conversations, and let us take inspiration from other countries abroad, but tailor it to Nigeria realities. We should create a student-led research group for mini refinery modeling, partner with tech communities to build early prototypes, collaborate with business students to turn ideas into ventures. We don't have to wait to graduate to make an impact. The tools are in our hands, literally on our phones and laptops. The future of oil and gas in Nigeria will not be fueled by politics or policy alone. It will be fueled by young, bold innovators like you and me. We are not just students, we are engineers in training. We are technologists in the making. We are leaders of a new Nigeria. Let's go from consuming innovation to creating it. Let's go from waiting for opportunities to engineering them. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let us give a virtual round of applause for our amazing speaker, Mrs. Success Ilochukwu. My apologies, Miss Success. Thank you so much, Success, for such an amazing charge. Indeed, you summed it when you said...
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. You summed it up truly when you said the energy industry is indeed changing. And the question remains, are we changing right along with it? So you have said so much in such little time, and we are most grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, now it is time to meet our amazing panelists. We have our first panelist, Mr. Fordum Ugochukwu David. David Ofordum is a passionate chemical engineering student at Nnamdi Azikiwe University and the founding president of Student Energy UNIZIC, where he advocates for youth participation in energy and sustainability. Formerly the president of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers, UNIZIC chapter, he led several impactful initiatives promoting energy literacy and a professional development. With a strong academic background and a drive for innovation, David is committed to addressing environmental challenges through research, advocacy, and engineering solutions. Please join me in giving a round of applause to our first panelist, David Ofordum from Nnamdi Azikiwe University. Welcome. Our second panelist for today's event is Ugwani Lucy Ifoma, Vice President, SPE FUPRE. Lucy is a 400 level chemical engineering student passionate about process engineering, the aspect of process design and simulation, which she achieves by maximizing the use of Aspen tech like UniSM and Aspen HYSYS. These softwares help her to simulate and design chemical plants, know how they work, and their industrial applications, especially in the use of distillation columns. Lucy is also eager to learn, grow, and network with her fellow students, which she does by volunteering in societies such as SPE, APWEN, and AICHE. These help to grow her communication skills and her leadership skills as well. A round of applause for panelist number 2, Lucy Ifoma. Our third panelist for this evening is Odunton Joshua Damilare. Joshua Damilare is a dedicated and ambitious 500 level student of mechanical engineering at Nigeria Maritime University, NMU. He leverages his expertise and passion for innovation to contribute to meaningful discussions and shape the future of his field. With a strong academic foundation and a drive for excellence, Odunton is poised to make a lasting impact in the engineering community. A round of applause, please, for Odunton Joshua Damilare. And last but not least, our fourth panelist for this evening's technical session is Onuegbu Divine Claire Makwochukwu. Divine Claire is a 400 level chemical engineering student at Nnamdi Azikiwe University with a strong passion for process engineering, particularly in process design and simulation. She leverages powerful tools like Aspen, HYSYS, and UniSim to simulate and design chemical plants, gaining deep insight into their functionality and industrial applications, especially in areas like distillation columns operations. Beyond the classroom, Divine Claire is an enthusiastic learner and networker. She actively volunteers with professional bodies such as SPE, APWEN, and AICHE, which have helped her to sharpen her communication and leadership skills while building lasting connections within the engineering community. As a panelist, she brings both technical insight and a collaborative spirit, representing the next generation of forward-thinking chemical engineers. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a resounding virtual round of applause for our 4 incredible panelists for this evening. Welcome to all of you. Please confirm you can hear me and you're ready for the panel session.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Are we all ready? Lucy, Divine Claire, Daniel, or rather David, my apologies, and Joshua. Are we all ready?
Yes, sure.
All right, fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, the panel session is structured such that we have 8 questions to be answered by our fantastic panelists as they decide. So I will be going through the questions one after the other. To our panelists, if you would like to speak on any of the questions that you see on the screen, please indicate either in the chat box or with a raised hand, and we will hear from you. Thank you, and please enjoy the session, ladies and gentlemen. All right, question 1. Question 1 goes thus. How can students start using data analytics or machine learning in their school projects? I read again. How can students start using data analytics or machine learning in school projects? Panelists, which of you would like to speak on this, please? All right, Ifoma Lucy, please proceed.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry for the noise in the background. Firstly, my profile was actually wrong. I don't know how, but That's for that. So I will just answer based on my own understanding actually. The question says, how can students start using data analytics and machine learning? Firstly, I think you can't use what you don't know. That is, I think students first of all need to actually have a skill on data analytics and machine learning first before they can start to apply it in their school projects. So I feel students can take up courses. There are so many online platforms where you can take up courses like Coursera, Udemy, and all. You can take up courses on data analytics and the rest of them. And then when you do that, you can now look for probably project topics or collaborate with other students to, work on topics or work on projects that have to do with this data analytics and machine learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lucy. We apologize for the mix-up with your profile. If you permit us, we'd like to introduce you properly now that we have the correct profile. Ladies and gentlemen, we crave your indulgence in welcoming our panelists properly this time with the correct profile. Uwani Lucy Ifoma is a driven and passionate STEM advocate with a strong commitment to learning, growth, and teamwork. As a final year petroleum and gas engineering student at the Federal University of Petroleum Resources FMR, she is dedicated to making a meaningful impact in her field. She is currently serving as Vice President of the Society of Petroleum Engineers, SPE, FUPRI chapter. Lucy is also an active member of notable professional organizations, including the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSE, FUPRI chapter, and Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN FUPRI Collegiate. Additionally, she's the coordinator of the Nigerian Girl in STEM Foundation FUPRI chapter, empowering young women in STEM. Lucy welcomes opportunities for networking, collaboration, and growth in engineering, technology, business, and leadership. Thank you so much, Lucy. We apologize once again for the mix-up, and you are welcome to today's panel session. Please give Lucy a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you for answering the question as well. You spoke fantastically. We have 7 more questions to go. So if none of our panelists has anything else to say on this, we will move on to our second question of the evening. Next slide, please. All right, question 2. For this question, I believe I will call out one of our panelists so that we can hear from you on this. Question 2 reads, what free tools can students use for drilling and reservoir simulations? Now, which of our panelists should answer this? Joshua Damilare, are you open to answering this question for us?
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, sure. All right. Please confirm you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so what free tools can students use for drilling and reservoir operations, simulations, sorry. Okay, so I'll start with drilling, yeah. Now, I don't know many simulating tools because, mechanical engineering, but just a few I know I want to talk about. Now, I came across Open Wells. Open Wells. It's a simulation tool developed by Ali Burton, okay? And it's one where we can start with because it has a free student version. Can we hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Now there's another one called Digital Reservoir Modeling Simulating Tool. Okay, it's an open source drilling simulator. Yeah, there are others like that, but those are just 2 of the most common ones, and I think we can work with those ones because one has free student version and the other one is open source. Then for reservoir simulation, we have MATLAB Reservoir Simulation Toolbox for those who are familiar with MATLAB. And there's another one called DUMOX for multi-phase flow research. Okay, that's the one I have off the top of my head right now.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Joshua. I hope we took note of all of those, ladies and gentlemen. Divine Claire, do you have any extra ones that you could add to this list for us? Divine Claire, please confirm you can hear me. All right, it seems she is unavailable at the moment. In that case, we can move on to the third question. Thank you, Joshua, for providing us with the names of these softwares and tools that we can use for drilling and reservoir. Question number 3. Next slide, please. All right. How can students help make petroleum engineering more environmentally friendly? Now, this is an interesting one. The question reads again, how can students help make petroleum engineering more environmentally friendly? I believe I will be calling on one of our 2, or rather 3 chemical engineering students here to answer this question for us. Daniel Ofordun, could you answer this question for us, please? Apologies. David Ofordun, please confirm you can hear me. Can you hear us? All right, while we wait on David Ofordun, Divine Claire, could you please shed some light on this question for us? It seems there are connectivity challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, please confirm. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, fantastic. Could you please answer the question for us?
Okay, this is Joshua, yeah? Just confirming that.
Yep. No problem. Thank you very much.
All right, so how can students help make petroleum engineering more environmentally friendly? Personally, there's one area I've been looking at, okay, and it's waterless fracking. Waterless fracking, that's hydraulic fracturing using another fluid other than water. The only limitation I see there is cost, high cost. You know, water is most likely readily available and least expensive compared to other alternatives like carbon dioxide. Okay, like, but then using supercritical gas, like a gas that behaves at a high pressure like a fluid or like a liquid, will be more environmentally friendly than using water, especially in arid regions. Okay, arid regions. That's for waterless fracking. Now, another place that has not been, I don't know how widely explored it has been, is carbon capture, utilization, and storage. That's CCUS. And the last one I would like to talk about is, this from flare gases. Can we hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so from flare gases, like extracting the carbon dioxide from flare gases. Yeah, flare gases or from flue gases. Yeah, those are the 3 ways in which I think we can make, petroleum engineering more environmentally friendly, or processes, because these are things that will come across frequently.
All right, absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Joshua. You really piqued my interest with waterless fracking. So if you don't mind, could you shed a little more light on that? Why would water constitute an environmental hazard, so to speak, in the fracturing and similar activities? Do you mind sharing with us a little more on that?
Okay. Permit me to put my statement in a better way. Not necessarily cause environmental hazards per se, but in an environment like an arid region where water is not readily available, I believe we can work with an alternative, like offering a solution to the absence of water. And at the same time, I think water also interferes with the with flow properties of the fluid that we're trying to extract. Okay, so and I believe what carbon dioxide allows for better flow when it mixes than water, for better permeability.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you. You've just introduced us to a relatively novel area of things. So thank you, Joshua.
Pleasure's
Question
mine.
number 4. Next slide, please. Question 4. All right. What basic technical skills should students learn now to be ready for future jobs? Ugwani Lucy, are you with us?
Yes, I am with you.
All right, fantastic. Do you mind asking this question for us?
Okay. What basic technical skills should students learn now to be future ready? We know that the energy industry is evolving and the world is changing. So first of all, so just like our speaker said, that we don't have become before we start making changes. So I think if we can have skills such as coding, data analysis, AI and machine learning, and some soft skills like maybe communication skills and then teamwork, it can also help us like soft skills when it comes to communication and then teamwork, it can also help. But I feel like as we are now, as I'm talking to people here on the call, I'm also talking to myself. We need to not just have a degree, we should also learn how to acquire other skills that are not just taught in our schools. And these skills, like I mentioned, we have coding, something like Python or MATLAB, and then we can have data analysis and the rest of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for shedding light on this question for us. Could we hear from another of our panelists? David O'Fordon, are you with us now?
Yeah, I'm with us. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Okay. All right. So the question that was asked was some skills that we can learn now to be ready for future jobs. And just to continue from where my colleague just ended, she spoke about learning coding, Python, MATLAB, and probably SPE and other stuff. Well, and that's very nice. I think you can also focus on, technical writing and presentation. This is for those, who would like to further into maybe getting a PhD or probably a master's or require writing thesis. So that's a good one also to learn, technical writing and presentation. Also to find out, just ask yourself, because as we are now, AI is virtually doing many things that humans can do. So, asking, Google or AI, okay, what are the ways AI is contributing to petroleum engineering jobs? And now, so you can try to learn those things, because someone said AI is not taking people's job. AI is only taking the jobs of those that don't know how to use AI. So trying to, learning how you can use AI in your job will help you stay, job ready. So that's also one contribution I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. You have mentioned 2 extremely important skills that will definitely be necessary in ensuring that the students of today remain relevant in the world of tomorrow, so to speak. So definitely technical writing and paper writing and all of those things that SPE of course encourages. And then definitely the use of AI. So thank you so much, David, for offering these two additional areas. Thank you very much. I believe we can move on to question 5 now. Next slide, please. All right, question 5 is on collaboration. How can students work with classmates from other fields on engineering projects? Okay, so for this question, I see we have 1 mechanical engineering student and 3 chemical engineering students here as our panelists. So we will hear from our mechanical engineering student and then one of the 3 chemical engineering students here with us. So Joshua, could you answer this for us?
Okay, I'm sorry, you lost me in the last 5 seconds. Can you say again?
No problem. This question is on collaboration, and it is how can students work with classmates from other fields on engineering projects? So you are the only mechanical engineering student here as a panelist with 3 other chemical engineering students. So we'd like to hear from you, and then we'll hear from one of the chemical engineering students, if that's fine.
Okay. So as a mechanical engineering student, where I study with some petroleum engineering students. Well, I would say if we were to collaborate on any engineering product, one of the platforms in which we do that is actually, foreign enough, these quizzes that SPE offers, like Petro Bowls, some of the 10 paper competitions, paper quizzes, all those things. Those are some avenues by which we come together from other fields and collaborate, especially mechanical, petroleum, sometimes chemical, most times chemical engineering, and even marine engineers. Okay, another thing is something that we call like hackathons, and student challenges, stuff like that. Yeah, basically.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So you mentioned hackathons, you mentioned Petro Quiz, you mentioned I think these are the 2 things I caught. Yeah, so thank you very much for that answer. Now for a response for one of our 3 chemical engineering students. We haven't heard from Divine Claire. So Divine Claire, could you answer this question for us if you're on the call? All right, seeing as Divine Claire is not on the call at the moment. All right, Ifoma Lucy, please shed some light on this for us. Thank you very much.
Okay, just like he mentioned, joining Petropies and all, we can also have different like an interdisciplinary projects. For example, my final year project, and I'm actually in petroleum engineering department, and my project is something that
Wow.
it's that cuts across other fields. Like I will have to work together with somebody that is in SLT department. I'll have to work with somebody that is in EMT, because I'm working on drilling fluid. So I'll first of all have to look for a fluid that can, replace the normal diesel that we are using to be able to use it to formulate a drilling fluid. So by so doing, I'm not just working with petroleum engineering students, or I'm not just working with petroleum engineering departments. I'm also going to other departments because I'll have to work on biodiesel, and we can't get that in petroleum engineering department. So that will lead me to AMT, And then also the drilling fluid formulation can also lead me to SLT. So it's also like having an interdisciplinary projects, like working on a project that cuts across other departments can also help to collaborate with other classmates on engineering projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Wonderfully said. So definitely, final year projects are a fantastic way to bridge the gap that sometimes exists between the various disciplines under the umbrella that is engineering. So thank you. Thank you very much for that response. All right, question 6. Next slide, please. Question 6 reads, what simple ethical rules should students follow when using AI or digital tools in sensitive areas? Now, this is an increasingly relevant area in the world today, artificial intelligence and all related things. So what ethical rules would you suggest that students follow or adhere closely to in using these tools in sensitive areas? David Ofordum, your hand is raised.
All right, thank you very much. I would like to, comment on this.
All right.
First of all, I would say that the use of AI is rampant. That's because AI can literally do, I don't want to say everything, but most things. And so what students do now is to just, go to AI and copy and paste results for everything, assignments, projects, even final year research thesis. And it's not the way to use AI. Shouldn't be a generator. AI shouldn't generate content for you. That's because AI didn't do the practical with you, for instance. So you only use AI to understand, you only use AI to interpret where necessary. So how do we use AI ethically? The first is that we must not fake results. What do I mean by that? Like I said, AI doesn't go to the lab with you. So for instance, when you're having a lab project or something, you should go to the lab, get your results yourself, instead of going to AI and saying, for instance, if I put this square meal with this square meal, what should I get? All right. And secondly, is always credit your sources. I know currently as we speak, researchers, for instance, are allowed to say, okay, I used AI for this. It's allowed, though not all, editors or not all, or I say publishers allow it, but majority are saying if you must use AI, let us know you used AI. So citing your sources is one way to be ethical when using AI, so that whoever is reviewing your work will know that, okay, there was a bit of computer input in this. All right. And also respect data privacy where necessary. And that's because most of what AI will give you is what people have already done. All right. So when you notice that, that's why we also said you should cite your works properly in order so you avoid problem entering into problems. So when you are using AI, always be careful to know that, okay, this must be coming from somewhere. So either you cite properly or I won't say avoid, but credit your sources very well. I think this would help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Wonderfully said. Does any of our speakers, or rather our panelists, have any additional things to say on this? All right, then. Thank you once again, David. Indeed, you said so much on the right way to use artificial intelligence and AI tools in the world today. So thank you very much for that response. Question 7. Which internships or research programs should students look for if they're interested in green engineering? So, which of our panelists is interested in answering this question? Or do I nominate one else?
Okay, I think I can just comment a little on it.
All right, please go ahead.
Okay, so I want to start by being honest. What I mean by that is we are Nigerians, all right? So I would say not mostly, but most times when we start seeking for internship opportunities, you realize that many of the opportunities you see will depend on who you know, if we are being honest. And that's because of the way Nigeria is. But however, there are still, companies that give internships on merit. So you can look out for those ones. Those ones that are based on pure merit will always advertise their internships. So that's why you should always be active on LinkedIn. Should always be, you can use search for internships so much that Google begins to send you opportunities when they come. That works on our algorithm, I think that's what they call it. So you can search for something so much that Google knows that you are interested in this, and then any new opportunity, they can send them to you. Also, you can follow a page on LinkedIn that should be opportunities for youth. Yeah, I think that's the name of the page. So they send a lot of international and national opportunities. You can follow that page on LinkedIn. Then another way to get internships is by cold emailing. I know a colleague of mine that works where I work currently, and how she got her internship is by cold emailing. She just randomly texted the CEO, wrote a long message, sir, this, I'm in this level, I'm interested in this. I hope I'll be able to learn this and learn that in your company. Just like a cover letter, but then it's unsolicited for. So cold emailing works if the company reviews their emails frequently. So you can try cold emailing also. It's kind of work. That's if you don't know anyone, like like I said earlier. So I think those are the two common ways to get internships. And also you can follow organizations. Organizations like Student Energy once in a while will always partner with the company and send in some application opportunities. Same goes for most of these international programs like DAD, SOF. I mean, these are international universities that do internship programs for, you know, people in the university. So you can just check them out. You can check SOF, you can check Makelele. I mean, these universities, these big universities usually have summer programs that they do, and they pay you to come over to learn, to research. So check them out. So just most of the top universities in the world do summer programs. So check out summer programs every year. You can see intern, whether you're even in your 400 level or not. It's just a 3 month program. Sometimes it's a 2 weeks program, 3 weeks program. You can check those ones out also. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You are clearly a professional in identifying internships. So thank you so much for sharing such invaluable insight on internships and programs that we should look out for if we're interested in green engineering. Thank you so much for that. Ifeoma Lucy, if you don't mind sharing any additional things concerning this question.
Okay, David has really said a lot. I also think if for students that are interested in green engineering, they could also attend, seminars and then network with professionals in, some of these fields, or just attend seminars that have to do with renewable energies and all. When you get there, you are going to meet actually people that are in the system. So when you network with them, they could also help you with, securing this internship. So also, like if you're interested in green engineering. So that is all I could add to what he has already said.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lucy. Definitely attending conferences and events and technical events, both physical and online, is a fantastic way to get in contact with people that might be the link that you need to these internships and research programs. So thank you so much for that reminder. All right, I believe we can move on to our final question for the panel session. Question 8. Next slide, please. All right. Question 8 reads, how can students find projects that combine oil and gas work with renewable energy? Now, I believe this question exists because definitely oil and gas and renewable energy are supposedly on two sides of the energy supply divide, so to speak. So how can students, or how would you suggest that students can combine or find projects that combine both sides of this divide? Which of our panelists is open to answering this question, or do I nominate? Actually, I believe we can hear from all three of our panelists very briefly on this, seeing as it's our last question. So, okay, since David Ofordun's hand is raised, you can go first. You can go first, rather.
All right, thank you so much. Just to say one or two things briefly. First of all, you don't really have to, wait for projects to come up before you get one. You can always create your own projects. What do I mean by that? You can approach any of your lecturers in this school, any of your professors or doctors or just your engineers in school, and share with them that, okay, can we come up with a project that combines this with this? You can use AI to know, okay, what are the trending areas in this topic, in that topic. Once you can come up with a topic, your professor will always be willing to, assist you. These projects are research-based and is a good place to start from if you don't yet have opportunities to get work-based projects or projects that will require you to, build anything. You can just start with just research. You might not even necessarily go to the lab. I mean, you can start writing review papers or term papers or just abstracts on these topics. It helps you to, know what others are doing, know what is the hot topic in this area before you even get the opportunity to, meet physical projects. And then also, you can also get physical projects by, joining organizations. I know a lot of organizations that do things like career training programs, like Students Energy, also the Energy Institutes. They do a lot of these. You can check all these organizations out. Students Energy, Energy Institute, AICHE also do have yearly competition. So what this will do is to provide you with the funding, because most of these projects require money. Yeah, so they will bring different varieties of project topics because they wouldn't, they're not leaving oil and gas soon, but they're also trying to integrate clean energy. Just like if you notice, Total has rebranded to Total Energies, no longer Total Oil and Gas, which means we are still doing oil and gas, but we are aware that there are some renewable energies we can explore. So this is what most of these organizations are doing currently. So we can join, and they are free membership. Actually, most of them are free membership for students. This is the best time to enjoy them. When you join them, you see what other students are doing out there. If you can't implement it, you wait for when opportunities will come where you can get funding. And a lot of funding opportunities are out there actually. You just have to be positioned. So check out some of these organizations. You can find projects that you can do there, or just copy and paste for somebody's doing somewhere else. Students Energy, Energy Institute, AICHE. Yeah, I think these three are the ones I'm familiar with. Thank you.
Wonderfully said. Thank you so much for sharing with us on this question. Can we hear from Joshua Damilare?
Okay. I mean, my colleague has said almost all, but there's little I can add to it. But then I can just say one of the things that students can look for are these student-led green energy products, like, converting oil, gas, oil waste products into utilizing it into gas, and those different kind of projects. There are companies that actually sponsor these kind of things. You just have to search deep enough. In Nigeria, things like this are not usually advertised on billboards and all of that. You just have to search deep. One of the places where you can and search for these kind of things is LinkedIn. Okay, things like energy transition, something along energy transition, something that relates oil and gas with renewable, like using renewables to power rigs. Okay, those kind of things. I think if students, search along this line deep enough, then they'll find some of these, they might even be private firms that sponsor and actually fund this kind of projects that are heading in these directions. I think another way to find yourself in the midst of all of this is in participating in one or two of these competitions that center around renewable energy. Yeah, I think that's what I've got.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for shedding more light on this. And finally, our petroleum engineer, Lucy. Could you add a few extra things to this, perhaps?
Okay.
Lucy.
My two colleagues have actually. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yes. I want to first of all thank my colleagues. They have actually said a lot about the question, but I would say that we can also diversify our internship. And it was when I did my IT that I found out that you don't really have to wait till you get to a certain level in the university before you can go for internships. Even from 100 level, we can go for internships. And one of my lecturers always said something. He said, those places you do your internships, you can pay attention to some of the problems they have. And from there, you can actually get your final year or your project topic or a topic, that you can write on. You don't need to also wait till you get to final year before you start writing projects. So when you pay attention to some of the problems they have, you can also get your internship ideas. So diversifying your internship, if you are in petroleum engineering or chemical engineering departments, you can also do your internship in other aspects or other sectors that is not just oil and gas related.
All right, I believe we lost Ifoma Lucy, but she had already told us so much that I believe is very useful, very integral in ensuring that we are able to find projects that combine both sides, both sectors of the energy supply divide, so to speak. So thank you. Thank you, Lucy, even though she's no longer on the call, but I'm sure she will join us shortly. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, David. And thank you, Claire, even though I'm not entirely sure she is with us at the moment. Thank you for all of your insight. Thank you for all of your expertise and for taking the time to answer each of these questions with all that you know. We're most grateful and we have definitely enjoyed the time with you. So thank you. All right, moving on to our next item on the agenda, we have a brief Q&A session for any additional questions that other attendees might have for our panelists or for our speaker. This will be handled by John Chimobi Menkiti. So over to you, John.
Okay. Good evening all. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello.
We can hear you. John, please confirm you can hear us. Ladies and gentlemen, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, sure, I can hear you.
All right. It seems John is struggling with
Okay.
connection. All right. John, can you hear us?
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you
we can
now.
hear you.
Yes, yes. Good evening, all.
All right, over to you. Good
Yeah.
evening. I believe we've lost John again. So while we wait for him to rejoin, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you would be so kind, if you have questions or things that you would like our panelists to discuss or shed more light on, whatever it is, they're students just like us. So please leave your questions, your remarks, your thoughts in the chat box, and we will address as many of them as possible. We have limited time for this, so if you have any questions or anything you would like to address, please leave them in the chat box. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Seeing as we have no further questions, I assume this means that our panelists did a fantastic job in answering the questions that were sent their way. So thank you once again, and a wonderful round of applause, please, to our amazing panelists. Thank you for shedding so much light on these various areas of the industry and the profession. All right, I see there's a question from Thompson Lucky. All right, we're waiting on you for your question. No problem. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, my network cut off.
No problem.
So I said once again from the our first speaker to the last panel discussion personnel. Now I think now it's time for question and answering. So if you have any question, can I think okay, some of the questions are in the box already. So if you want to, you can use the message box to drop your question, or you can unmute yourself to send in your question. Okay, I have one question with me here. In Nigeria here, there are challenges facing the petroleum engineering students, especially in the harnessing their skills. How do we tackle this, especially when the government isn't working on it? This is a question from Thompson Lucy. So one of the panelists, please help us to tackle this question. Hello.
All right. Thank you very much for the question. I wish he could be more specific in the challenge he highlighted. But from what he said, it says especially in harnessing their skills. So if we would limit your question to that, I feel one thing you should do or you can do is to, affiliate yourself with international bodies or organizations. That's one way that it will help you to know what others are doing out there. I mean, you meet your colleagues in other schools around the world. For instance, in Students Energy, they have over 50,000 chapters around the world and millions of student members that are all interconnected. So it's going to help you to, see the progress that students of your age, of your class, of your group, the progress you are making, to help you to copy where necessary, learn from them, and you also see that some persons are facing challenges, but
Hello.
I think his network is very, very bad right now, so I think we lost him.
so
So can anybody hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
All right, it seems we lost Daniel Fordham, or rather David. My apologies. David, are you back with us now?
yes, I'm back. So sorry.
No problem.
Nigeria
We lost you
network.
pretty early on, so if you don't mind, could you go back a bit on some of the things that you said?
All right. So I was speaking about, affiliating yourself with international bodies or organizations as one of the ways to, kind of curb or reduce what we know as the knowledge gap in Nigeria. There are many things that we are not doing that we ought to do as students. There are many opportunities that are not coming our way that ought to be coming our way as students. So, but you cannot do anything about the situation. You can only find a way to survive, and a way to survive is to affiliate yourself with international bodies. There are a whole lot of them that are interested in, students' growth. SPE is one of them. I know the SPE holds a lot of technical sessions, conferences that, I mean, if you are following closely, you would have been exposed so much beyond what you know or what you are supposed to have known from your classroom. So affiliating yourself with international bodies is one of the ways you can help yourself to grow. All right. So I believe let me stop there because of time.
All right, David, thank you so much for that amazing answer. I'm sorry I omitted the second question coming from Oyibo. The summer internship, one of the panelists talked about how do one get such internship?
Okay,
I
I
repeat,
believe the message
the summer
is
internship.
directed to me. Yeah, I got the question. Thank you so much, John. So I was the one who mentioned the summer internships that they're asking questions about. Yeah, I think I'll mention a few. So if you can look up those few ones, then I believe Google algorithm can now help you to send further more of those internship opportunities. You can also go up to LinkedIn and search for summer internships. You can also follow a page on LinkedIn, opportunities for youths. You would get access to a lot of summer internships also from there. But then you can look up SURF Stanford, that's SURF, Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship. That's SURF, Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship. So look up SURF Stanford, look up SURF Purdue, that's Purdue University, SURF Purdue. Look up what's this one called? By Makerere University. I can't really remember the name. Then there are a lot. There's DAD for undergraduates. No, we have DAD for postgraduate students. So DAAD, you check up DAD, Undergraduate Research Fellowship. There are a lot, I believe. So by the time you check those three and then you look up current or past soft internships, most of them are called summer internships or soft internships. You're going to get a whole lot of them. And then Google can now help you to send notifications when they are ongoing. But usually they are supposed to start summer, and summer should be around June, July, August. So if you want to get those opportunities for next year, June, July, August, you should have started looking for them this year's October, this year, November, this year, December, because it takes a whole long period for them to do their application. So don't start looking for the summer internships summer. You can't get them. If you want to look for the summer internships, you have to start as early as this year's August, this year, September, October, November to start looking out for them. All right, so you can apply for as many as possible and hopefully you can get one of them. Thank you.
All right, David, thank you so much. Have another question. In respect to question one above, most countries are moving towards renewable energy, but in Nigeria here, we still rely heavily on fossil fuel. If Nigeria decides to embrace renewable energy, what will be the fate of the petroleum engineering students? Should I repeat?
Um,
Sorry, David, you're breaking again. David Ofordum, we cannot hear you.
Just
All right.
comment.
David Ofordum, we can't hear you, so let's come back to you when the
That.
connectivity is a bit better.
Let me be honest with you.
While we wait for David to sort out the connectivity issues on his end, Lucy, could you please answer the question? Or actually, no, my apologies. I see a hand raised. Please answer the question if you don't mind.
Okay, I actually find that question very interesting, and I would like to answer it. It says we are moving towards renewable energy, but in Nigeria we are still heavily on fossil fuel. So, what I would like to say about that is, even if Nigeria decides to totally go into renewable energy like solar energy, for example, solar energy, wind energy, geothermal, tidal, and the rest of them, they can't provide petrochemicals for us. So we are still reliant on crude oil, no matter what focus on renewable energy we decide to go back to. Petrochemicals are actually one of the biggest industries because we use them in every single thing we do in life. We use it in our paint, we use it in clothing, textiles, plastics, everything around us we are gotten from petrochemicals, which is a source from crude oil. So no matter how we decide to rely on renewable energy, solar energy can't give us this petrochemical. So we are not going to abandon that part of that fossil fuel because we decide to diversify to renewable energy. So petroleum engineers are actually needed in are still needed actually. So that's what I have to say about that. And also you can also learn other skills as well. So don't just rely on your particular course of study. So in case if you are actually in another industry, you still have other ways you can apply your skills in order to find yourself up to date with what is happening now. So this is what I have to say. I hope this helps.
All right. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. David, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm afraid to speak because I might be cut off any moment from now. But I think my colleague answered well, so let's just go with that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions? Can you hear me? Okay, I think in the absence of no other question, we can move on with the next activity, which is the next slide, please. Hello. Okay, thank you so much. Can move on with the photograph and networking. So let's start with the photograph. So to be like this, you have to on your video. Yeah, put on your video. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I say start video on your camera. Can you hear me, please, on your camera? Hello, 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 hello.
Why do I feel like I'm the only one on my camera? Mr. John, we can't hear you.
I don't know if John is still here with us, but I see we're all a bit camera shy, which is fine. John, we cannot hear you. We can't hear you. I'm so sorry. All right. Seeing as we're all rather reluctant to turn on our cameras, I believe we can essentially move on to the next item on our agenda so that we call it a day as soon as possible. Next, we have our closing remarks, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we have our announcements actually before closing remarks. So, Akalugo Israel, if you're here, please give us the announcement rather before we move on to closing remarks.
Okay, once
Israel,
again,
are you here?
yes, I'm here. Once again, good evening, everybody.
Fantastic.
Please confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, sure,
Loud
we
and
can hear
clear.
you.
All right. So,
Can you hear?
it's been an insightful evening learning about fueling the future innovation, digitalization, and sustainability in petroleum engineering. So, I believe that we've got key takeaways from this program this evening. So, let's quickly take the following announcements. Let's pay attention, please. Okay, first on the announcement here with me, the SPE NMU chapter will be having a professional program on the 15th of July 2025. And the theme for this program is CV building and proper email construction. So this is an event coming up on the 15th, hosted by the SPE of the Nigeria Maritime University chapter. So please, to be a part of this program, you can reach out to any of the NMU executives and they will guide you through on how to be a part of this program. Then the second announcement on my list is from SPE PTI chapter, and this is the Game Night Friday. So this is a game night. It's a new initiative by the SPE PTI chapter, whereby every Friday by 8 p.m. on our group chat, we host a game night, and we don't just host it for the fun. Aside the fun, we have cash prizes to give out to the winners of this game night. So if you are in on around PTI, you can do it to join us today. You can do it to join us tonight and every other Friday for this game night. And finally, on my list here, this is from the SPE Worry section 104. This is inviting you for our 2025 annual general meeting. Okay, please confirm you can see me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can hear you.
Okay, so this inviting everybody to our 2025 annual general meeting and awards ceremony, and this is happening live at the PTI Conference Center here in Warri at IFEC Hall, and the date for this program is on Saturday, the 19th of July, 2025, and the time is 10 a.m. prompt. So if you are around Warri and the environs, you can do it to join us for this impactful program. Okay, so that was the end of the announcements on my end. I believe if there's any further announcements, we will do it to reach out to you all on our platforms in our various sessions. Thank you all, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Moderator, over to you.
Thank you so much for all of the announcements. I do hope we have taken note. Finally, we can move on to our last item for the evening, which is the closing remark by Olajide Paul. Paul, if you're ready for
good
it,
evening. Please confirm you can hear me.
loud and clear.
Can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. First and foremost, I appreciate everyone present in this evening program. It's indeed wonderful. Well, in the future, innovation, digitalization, and sustainability in petroleum engineering. And to our speaker, we say thank you, and to all our panelists from FUPRI to the NAU, NMU. We say very big thanks, and we hope that we can still collaborate to have something like this again in the nearest future. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Over to the moderator.
All right, thank you so much, Paul. And thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time to be part of this event once again. Indeed, it has been an insightful session, and I do hope we've learned a couple of things from our amazing panelists and from our speaker as well. We apologize for the time overshoot, but we believe it has been worth it. And we thank you once again for taking the time to be part of such an event. Please have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you and good night.